So I want to talk now about embodiment, what that means in the realization process, and how that relates to us regaining our sense of being really present in our body, present in our lives. In the realization process, we open to this very subtle consciousness that we can experience pervading our own body and pervading our environment at the same time. We enter into that non-dual space, that unified space, by making deep inward contact with our own body. And that's so that we can let go of our grasp on ourselves from deep within, right? Now we do that by inhabiting the body, by actually doing a practice of entering into our feet, entering into our legs, entering into our torso, actually living, experience ourselves as living within our whole body, because everywhere that we are in inward contact with ourselves, we're also open and available to be responsive to the environment. For example, if you take a moment to feel yourself living within your chest, right? And you make deep contact, but not aware of your chest, actually being there, then you may experience that this present moment is occurring both inside you and outside you at the same time. When we inhabit ourselves, we dissolve through that constructed protective barrier between inside and outside, but not in a way of losing ourselves. We uncover that oneness of self and other by living within our own body. So that means we become whole within ourselves and present within ourselves at the same time as we transcend our individuality and become one with everything around us. The depth of inward contact with ourselves, here's another way of saying the same thing. The depth of inward contact with ourselves is the basis of our deep contact with the world around us and with other people around us. Now, presence is a being there, right? When we uncover that fundamental consciousness, when we live within our body, we uncover that very subtle, undivided consciousness. It's a level of wholeness. And it's so interesting. It's not something that we have to create or imagine. It's something we uncover. That ground of our being, we can call it, fundamental consciousness, feels like the ground of our individual being and the ground of all being, the ground of our environment. But as the ground of our individual being, it feels like we're made of both emptiness, receptivity, and at the same time as presence, as a kind of shining from within, actual being there. That's so helpful for us in terms of recovering the overwhelm that we experience in trauma, right? That we can feel our own presence equal to the presences around us, because most of us have been traumatized in relationships, right? In relation to other people. And we tend to carry that traumatized relationship forward into our adult lives or into the rest of our adult lives. But if we can recover that sense of presence and actual sense of our own existence, is what it feels like, then we no longer feel that we might be intimidated or annihilated, traumatized again by other people. So here's a little mini practice to help you experience what I mean by being present within the body, and especially what's the difference between being aware of our body and being actually present within it. So take a moment now, if you feel like, to rest your hands in your lap and become aware of your hands. Now, becoming aware of your hands, you may notice how warm or cold they are, or how relaxed or how tense they are. You may also may notice that you're being aware of them from the top down. We call that a top-down procedure, aware of the hands, right? As if you could observe yourself from above. And now, enter into your hands. See if you can feel the difference, right? That you're actually living within the internal space of your hands. You're conscious there, right? That living within means that we're in contact with ourselves. It means we're conscious there within the internal space of our hands. If you're very sensitive to yourself, you may notice that just by coming into your hands, you actually come into your whole body, because it is a dimension of undivided consciousness. But in the realization process, we go bit by bit. So you've just come into your hands, if you can feel that. Now, same thing in your feet. Come on into your feet. And again, we're not being aware of the feet. We're actually present within the feet, as if your feet could be conscious of themselves from within. Now, in the whole exercise, we would go part by part by part and then come into the wholeness. But at this moment, see if you can now feel that you are in your whole body. So just as you have felt in your hands and you felt in your feet, see if you can come into your whole body. Sometimes I compare this, might be helpful to, if we say that the body is the temple, that you're sitting inside the temple of your body, that you have your own temple to sit inside with nothing left out, right? Even the tip of your nose is inside the temple. And breathing. Okay, thank you. Now I have talked about and done that little mini exercise with you about inhabiting the body, but you may not find it so easy to inhabit the body, because we all had our good reasons for not being in the body, right? We react to overwhelming or traumatic experience by constricting our body in such a way that there's really no room for us to make that inward contact. So it's really important to be very patient with this. I mean, once we do inhabit the body, then yes, it's very healing for those traumatic experiences, because we have a sense of self-possession and self-confidence. But on the way to that, it takes being a very good teacher to yourself, that you are very patient, that you only enter into yourself to the extent that feels really comfortable. Some people may feel that being present as children was dangerous. And so that journey of coming back and being present again can be quite challenging. And all of these practices that I teach, I really teach them in the context of dialogue, not just the exercises, but the dialogue, the insight into your own process, into really understanding what did happen to you, why you did constrict, why you did leave your body. So coming back into the body can be a very gradual process, just as much as you can tolerate. Now you can help yourself come on in, for example, by putting a hand on either side of your leg, wherever you can easily reach, and letting yourself find yourself there within your hands, right? That's if you feel comfortable to do that. You may find that some areas of your body feel very safe and comfortable to enter into, and some feel more dangerous to come on into. So the thing is, start with those safe places, of course, until you can really, till you're really comfortable being in just those parts of yourself. And you can practice that whenever you think of it, right? And it's lovely to kind of tune into that when you're interacting with other people, when there might be a triggering experience on the horizon, that you know that you have at least those few parts of yourself that you can make contact with, that you can kind of anchor into yourself within.